Assalamualaikum. My name is Lydia Adiba and I would like to thank you for taking the time to view our presentation today. So, I will be sharing our group research title, The Impact of Telco Frontliners, Facial Expression and Body Language on Customer Emotion Regulation and Walk-in Service Center in Malaysia. So, let's begin our understanding. For introduction, we will discuss emotion regulation in service interaction with the Malaysia telecommunication sector, which value 34.8 billion ringgit. Emotion regulation here is a collaborative process between customer and frontline employees. Yet, research has largely focused on verbal communication, neglecting nonverbal cues that convey up to 93% of emotional meaning. This gap is critical, especially in Malaysia collectivity's culture where nonverbal norms differ, affecting how emotions are regulated. During the movement control orders, service delays led to a 57% rise in customer aggression, underscoring the urgent need to effective nonverbal strategies. Next, our study addressed three key areas, which is ontologically, methodologically, and practically. For ontologically, we examine how facial expression and body language interact in emotion regulation. And for methodologically, we capture customer perception in real time, and practically, we aim to develop training aligned with Malaysia cultural communication norms. Drawing on Van Cleef emotion as social information theory, we argue that emotional alignment between staff and customer leads to better conflict resolution. Ultimately, this research supports Malaysia's commitment to sustainable development goals by enhancing service quality, job security, and economic sustainability in telecommunication sector. So, for their problem statement, the problem with current service training in Malaysia, which emphasize scripted verbal communication but neglect culturally nuances nonverbal communication. Nonverbal cues such as eye contact can be interpreted differently across Malaysia's diverse ethnic groups. Sometimes it can causing misunderstanding that escalate customer frustration. Despite the importance of emotional intelligence in service, training often prioritizes operational skills, leading to missed opportunities in managing customer emotion effectively. So, our study aims to fill this gap by investigating how frontline staff facial expression and body language influence customer emotional regulation during service interaction. We ground our research in Van Cleef's emotion, a social information model which explains how emotional expression affect observer through both automatic effective reaction and deliberate inferential processing. Given Malaysia collectivity's culture, understanding this process is vital to developing culturally appropriate training that enhance customer satisfaction and service quality. So, these studies investigate how frontline employees use facial expression and body language to influence customer emotion in service interaction. Our research question focus on three areas, which is how facial expression affect customer emotional responses. Second, how body language, including deliberate expectancy violation, shapes perception of service quality. And lastly, how customer responses to nonverbal cues such as eye contact and posture differ across generation and cultures. Empirical evidence shows that positive facial expression, such as smiling, enhance customer satisfaction through emotional contagion. Body language also plays a critical role in shaping customer perception, with both congruent and unexpected behavior influencing service evaluation. Importantly, responses to nonverbal cues vary significantly across cultural and generation lines, which is particularly relevant in Malaysia multicultural context. Recent multimodal research highlight the importance of integrating facial expression, body language, and voice to accurately assess and manage frontline employees' emotional states. Additionally, studies on emoticons reveal that even negative emotional cues can foster customers' forgiveness and satisfaction when perceived as sincere, especially during service failure. This insight will guide the development of culturally sensitivity training programs to improve emotional regulation and service quality. Next is research objective. This study aims to pinpoint how frontline employees use facial expression and body movement to manage customer emotion effectively. Our first objective is to analyze how facial expression, including culturally sensitive adaptation like showing subtly with elders, impact customer emotional state. The second objective focuses on body language tactics such as strategic expectancy violation like offering tea, which can positively or negatively shape customer perception of service quality. Third, we explore how customers mirror and interpret these nonverbal cues, paying close to generational differences in emotional responses. By achieving this objective, this research will deepen our understanding of how nonverbal communication shapes customer experience and inform the development of culturally sensitive training programs to improve emotional regulation and service quality in frontline service role. So, for the scope of our study, we will investigating how telecommunication frontliners, facial expression and body language influence customer emotion regulation during face-to-face service interaction in Malaysia. Our study focused on four key objectives. First, to examine how customers perceive frontline workers' facial expression, such as smile, eye contact, and sincerity, alongside body language, including posture and gesture. Second, we assess how these nonverbal cues affect emotional outcomes like trust, satisfaction, frustration, and anxiety. Lastly, we explore the relationship between specific nonverbal behavior and emotional regulation. And finally, we analyze demographic differences, particularly age and gender, in how customers experience this emotion. Our target group consists of 50 Malaysian respondents, all Malay, age 18 and above, who have visited telecommunication service center. Methodologically, we employ a quantitative cross-sectional survey using a structured Google form with a 5-point like scale. Data will be collected virtually from June 1st to 15, 2025, covering Peninsula Malaysia, Sabah, and Sarawak. Independent variables include genuine smile, comfort, sincerity, eye contact, and body language feature, while dependent variables focus on trust, frustration, reduction, satisfaction, and anxiety. However, the study has limitations, including sampling bias due to the homogeneous Malay sample and age concentration in the 41 to 50 group, which may limit generally. The small sample size restricts statistical power, and reliance on self-reported data may introduce bias. Additionally, the study focused on facial and body cues, excluding vocal tone and environmental factors. For future research, we recommend employing stratified sampling and mixed methods such as direct observation to enhance depth and general. Expanding demographic diversity and including vocal and environment aspect will provide a more comprehensive understanding of emotion regulation in service setting. Next, for significance of study. The study holds significant value across multiple stakeholders in Malaysia telecommunication sector and beyond. For telco customers, nonverbal communication, such as facial expression and body language, convey far more emotional information than verbal communication alone, especially in charged service situations. Research shows that frontline employees who express empathy non-verbally can greatly reduce customer frustration and boost satisfaction, leading to improved emotional regulation and loyalty. Frontline employees benefit from training that equips them to use positive facial expression and open body language, which helps manage emotional labor, reduce stress, and build emotional resilience, enhancing job satisfaction. From an organization perspective, telco companies that understand and invest in nonverbal communication training see fewer complaints, faster service, and stronger brand reputation. The studies support such strategic investment, highlighting that subtle nonverbal cues significantly influence customer perception of service quality. The findings also extend to Malaysia border service industry, offering a culturally sensitive model applicable to banking, hospitality, and retail sector. Effective nonverbal communication is essential in Malaysia diverse cultural landscape to improve service quality and customer satisfaction. Academically, this research enriched the literature by providing context-specific empirical evidence on nonverbal communication role in regulating customer emotion within Malaysian Service Centre. It integrates key theories on emotion regulation and intercultural communication, offering a valuable framework for future studies and multicultural high-contact environments. In summary, the study bridged theory and practice by demonstrating how telco frontline workers' facial expression and body language impact customer emotional experience. The practical implication span customer satisfaction, employee well-being, organization performance, and academic knowledge, collectively contributing to the advancement of Malaysia telecommunication and service industry. So that's all from for my part, and I will pass next chapter to my team. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Let's begin where most people don't notice. That moment when you walk into a telco counter and no one says a word yet, but you already feel something. And why? Because in Malaysian telco walk-in centers, words are just a surface. Underneath there's a silent negotiation, facial expression, body angle, and eye contact. This study dive into that word. We ask how do these subtle cues regulate customer emotions, and why does understanding this matter so much in our local service industry? Our study rests on three major frameworks. Let's start with the first, interaction adaptation theory by Bergen 1995. Imagine this. A customer enters frustrated with arm folders and tense expression. The frontline staff instantly soften their tone, shift posture, and reduce eye contact. This isn't just courtesy, it's adaptation. In multicultural Malaysia, adaptation is a bonus, it's a survival instinct. Malaysian, Chinese, Indian, in different queues, different boundaries. This theory shows how our nonverbal behaviors mutually adjust, creating invisible agreements between staff and customers. Next, for emotional contagion theory. Think of emotion like a virus. A smile spreads calm, a scene spreads frustration. It happens automatically without planning. And in telco settings, if the staff fakes a smile, the customer feels it. But if the smile is genuine, real eye crinkle and warm toned, it changes the whole mood of the room. Positive emotional contagion leads to fewer complaints. Fewer complaints mean happier customers. That's the power of emotional transfer. And then we have emotional labor theory. Now, let's be real. Frontliners can't always feel cheerful, right? But they expected to show patience, calm, and warmth even during service failures. So here's the trick. Deep acting, where you truly feel the emotion, is better than surface acting, where you just fake it. And why? Because Malaysians raised in a culture that values subtlety and restraints, we can sense insincerity from a miles away. By doing deep acting, it respects both the roles and the emotion. It knows just performance is a regulation from within. Now let's zoom in on the face, our most powerful emotional billboard. Using Ekman and Friesen facial acting coding system (FACS), we decode emotions through tiny muscle movement called action units. A real smile, called a Dungeon smile, activates both the mouth and the eyes. That crinkle around the eyes, customer trust that. But a smile without the eyes, it feels fake and customer pick up on it fast. In Malaysian service studies, Chinese smiles are strong predictor of customer satisfaction. Even better when staff can read micro expressions, those fleeting flashes of hidden emotions, they can diffuse dissatisfaction before it turns into a complaint. Now let's talk about the whole body now. Birth swingsters, kinesics, breakdown, body movement into implements, illustrator, regulator, effect displays, and adapter. But here's the twist. Malaysia adds cultural layers on top. Pointing with your index fingers? Rude. Thumbs up could offend someone. Even how you sit or stand speaks volume. That's why training must go beyond universal gesture. Open arm, forward leaning, this builds approachability. Cross arms it shut people out. Body language isn't just a movement, it's a meaning. Eye contact, it connects us, but it's not always simple. In Malaysia, conservative eye contact is the norm, especially between genders. Too much eye contact can feel aggressive, but too little can feel dismissive. But when used wisely, it can become a tool. Looking away during tense moments, that gives space. Re-engaging later, that shows readiness to help. Eye contact regulates emotion, not just attention. And when done right, it says, I see you, I respect you. Malaysia scores high in power distance, meaning respect and hierarchy are built into how we behave. Customers with higher socioeconomic status often feel nonverbal differences. That's mean control posture, polite silence, minimal eye contact. Now, here's the challenge. If a staff member uses relaxed or overly friendly body language, some customer might find it disrespectful. That mismatch between expected and actual cues can disrupt emotional regulation and damage the entire service integration. That's why frontline staff needs to read the rooms and adjust accordingly. What you wear sends a signal, but what your body does after that confirms or cancels it. Research shows formal dressing boosts perceived competence, especially when the customer feels they are of lower social status. But here's the catch. If you dress sharp but act sloppy, that nonverbal mismatch breaks trust. Credibility needs concurrence. From clothes to posture to tone, they all need to align. So, what's the solution? We need training. But not just any training. Training in empathy and cultural sensitivity. Many Malaysian telco companies already run customer service workshops, but the nonverbal component is often overlooked. And yet, studies shows it makes a big difference, with fewer complaints, higher satisfaction, faster conflict resolution. So it's time we teach staff not just to speak, but to sense and respond without a word. Our study asked three key questions. First, how do facial expressions impact customer emotions? It explains through emotional contingent theory and FACS. Second, how does body language influence service perception? Through understood using kinesis and interaction adaptation theory. And third, how the customer react to cues like eye contact or posture. It interpreted through power distance and intimacy regulation. Together, these frameworks help us decode the silent dance between frontline staff and the emotions they manage. Our methods are designed to reflect nation realities. First, we adapted several tools to match local culture, not just Western norms. Second, we'll measure training smiles through self-report. It's not perfect, but realistic in a busy working setting. Yes, it may introduce social desirability bias, but we'll address it in our analysis. Lastly, we include power distance and ethnic diversity as moderator variables, because in Malaysia, these aren't side factors, they shape everything. Hence, the literature is clear. Most research on nonverbal communication is Western-centric, but Malaysia isn't the West. Here, gesture, eye contact, even silence means something different. So, our research fills that gap. By focusing on local service encounters, we bring cultural nuance to the forefront. In not just theory, it's service that reflect us. To close, this chapter brings together science, service, and cultures to show how frontline workers in Malaysia shape emotions without even speaking. From facial cues to posture to attire, application is a message. Every message influences how a customer feels. So what's next? We train with culture depth, we listen with our eyes, and we serve with more than just words. Because in service, what's unspoken often says the most. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone, to our Professor Sean. I'm Rizwan, and I will continue with the Chapter 3 Research Methodology. So, about our research methodology for examining nonverbal communication in Malaysian telecommunications service centers. Our study focuses on analyzing how frontliner nonverbal behaviors influence customer emotions in Malaysian telecommunications walk-in service centers. We are investigating the specific impact of facial expression and body language on customer emotion regulation during service interactions. We have adopted a quantitative study design to examine how service personnel nonverbal communication affects customer emotional outcomes. This research addresses a significant gap in understanding the role of nonverbal cues in Malaysian service environment. Theoretical foundation. Our methodology is grounded in two established theoretical frameworks. We draw from adaptation theory and emotional contagion theory to understand how nonverbal communication influences customer responses. The framework builds upon of uh, the foundational work of Ekman and Friesen from 1969, and along with Whistle's 1970 research on nonverbal communication. The scholars established the systematic study of how facial expression and body language convey meaning. Our approach specifically incorporates the Malaysian multicultural environment while maintaining consistent measurement standards across diverse populations. We focus on measuring three key emotional outcomes: trust, satisfaction, and anxiety. Using structured evaluation methods that have been validated in similar cultural contexts. Research Design Overview. We selected a cross-sectional quantitative survey design using structured online questionnaire to capture customer experiences with frontliner nonverbal behaviors. This design offers several methodological advantages. First, it enables systematic measurement using validated scales, ensuring consistency across all participants. Second, it provides statistical analysis capability for correlation testing and hypothesis validation. The survey approach aligns with Malaysian cultural values regarding privacy and indirect communication behaviors. It offers geographical scalability, allowing us to reach participants across Malaysia efficiently. The design also provides resource efficiency, working within our time and budget constraints while maintaining methodological rigor. Research, question, and measurement framework. Our study addresses three primary research questions, each with specific measurement approaches. Research question one examines how frontliners' facial expressions influence customer emotional regulation during service interactions. We measure this through customer assessments of expression authenticity, emotional effects, and comfort levels in survey section B. Research question 2 investigates how body language affects customer perceptions of service quality. Our measurement approach evaluates posture appropriateness, gesture effectiveness, and spatial behavior assessments in survey section C. Research question 3 explores customer reactions to frontliners' adjustment in posture and eye contact. We capture customer responses to perceive behavioral modifications through combined measurements in survey section C and D. Study location and virtual environment. We conducted this research within a virtual environment using online communication to reach participants throughout Malaysia. Our geographic coverage encompasses Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak, ensuring representation from all major regions. We implemented a multi-channel distribution strategy utilizing WhatsApp, email, Facebook, and Instagram to maximize participant reach and accessibility. Our target population includes Malaysian residents aged 18 and above who have experience with telecommunications service centers. Participants represent customers from all major Malaysian telecommunications providers like Celcom, DG, Maxis, U-Mobile, and Unify. Sampling strategy. We employed snowball sampling combined with purposive convenient sampling to identify appropriate respondents with relevant telecommunication service experience. The recruitment process began with academic and personal network. And the recruitment process began with academic and personal networks, expanding through referral chains to reach diverse participants. We established clear eligibility criteria requiring participants to be Malaysian residents aged 18 or older with telecommunications walk-in service center experience and willingness to complete our 6 to 8 minute survey. We achieved a sample size of 50 valid responses, which adequate provides enough statistical power for our exploratory research objectives while working within practical resource constraints. Survey instrument structure. Our survey instrument contains 5 structured sections designed to capture comprehensive data on nonverbal communication perceptions. The introduction section includes the introductions section includes screening questions and participation consent. Section A gathers demographic information, including gender, age, and race. Section B contains 5 items measuring facial expression perceptions. Section C includes 5 items assessing body language and posture. Section D evaluates emotional impact through 4 targeted items. Section E provides open-ended feedback opportunities through 2 structured items. We utilize 5-point Likert scales, ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree, following established measurement principle for attitude and perception research. Data collection process of the survey. Data collection occurred during a 15-day intensive phase from June 1st till June 15, 2025. We implemented a multi-platform strategy using WhatsApp, email, and social media platforms to ensure broad participant access. Our communication protocol included clear study purpose explanations, specific eligibility criteria, transparent time commitment disclosure of 6 till 8 minutes, and detailed confidentially assurance. We maintain standardized messaging across all distribution channels to ensure consistency in participant information and expectations. Analytical framework. Our analysis period spans June 16 until June 25th, 2025, providing 10 days for comprehensive data examination. We employ multiple statistical methods, including descriptive analysis of demographic data and distribution patterns. Pearson correlation analysis examines relationships between nonverbal perception variables and emotional outcomes. Independent sample t-test compare gender differences in nonverbal perception and service satisfaction. One-way ANOVA compares age groups and educational levels. Cronbach's alpha assessment ensured measurement scales reliability. We maintain a significance level of equal to 0.05 throughout all statistical testing procedures. Ethical considerations. Our research maintains strict ethical standards throughout all phases. We protect participant anonymity by collecting no identifying information, ensuring complete privacy protection. Participation remains entirely voluntary, with clear withdrawal rights and no penalties for discontinuation. We demonstrate cultural sensitivity through Malaysian multicultural survey, language, and respectful treatment of diverse cultural perspectives. Data security measures include password protected institutional cloud storage, encrypted data transmission, and restricted access limited to research team members. Our consent process follows implied consent procedures with a full disclosure of research purposes and participants' rights. Key methodological limitations. We acknowledge several methodological limitations that affect our study. Sampling challenges arise from convenience sampling through digital channels, which may create selection bias toward technology-savvy participants. Self-report issues emerge from our dependence on customer perceptions rather than objective behavioral measures. Our cross-sectional design prevents establishment of causal relationships between variables. The sample size of 15 participants limits our ability to conduct complex statistical analysis such as a structural equation modeling. These limitations affects the generalizability of our findings and require careful interpretation of result within the specific scope. Mitigation strategies. We implement several strategies to address methodological concerns. Transparent reporting includes clear limitation statements in all results and discussions. Multiple distribution channels diversify our recruitment beyond single platforms or networks. Demographic monitoring allows assessment of sample representativeness and identification of potential biases. Quality control measures include attention checks within surveys and comprehensive data validations procedures. Sorry. We emphasize effect size reporting beyond statistical significance to provide meaningful interpretation of practical importance. Project timeline. Our project follows a structured timeline ensuring systematic completion of all research phases from May 15 to May 30 focuses on 30th, sorry, focuses on instrument finalization and pilot testing over 15 days. June 1st till 15th encompasses our intensive data collection phase, spanning 15 days. June 16 to 20th involves data processing and cleaning over 5 days. June 21 till 25th includes a statistical analysis and interpretation during 5 days. June 26th to 28th completes report writing and finalization within 3 days. This timeline balances methodological rigor with practical academic scheduling requirements. Expected contributions of the research. Our methodology offers several significant contributions to nonverbal communication research in service contexts. Cultural adaptation ensures questions are tailored specifically to the Malaysian service environment, providing culturally relevant insights. Theoretical integration demonstrates operational applications of established nonverbal communication theories in real-world settings. Mixed methods elements combine quantitative measured with qualitative details for comprehensive understanding. Ethical standards maintain comprehensive participant rights protection and cultural sensitivity throughout all research phases. The practical relevance of our approach provides direct applicability for telecommunication service improvement initiatives, offering actionable, actionable insights for Malaysian service providers. Thank you for your attention and time, and let's my friend to continue the presentation.
Assalamualaikum, Prof. Dr. Shanawi and my fellow classmate. My name is Muhammad Amjad Shah bin Abdullah, and today I will be presenting about chapter 4. We decide to use the quantitative method for collecting the numerical data. We run the survey via Google Form on June 15, and our participant is a customer with face-to-face telco service experience across Malaysia. We send the Google Form link to them, and then the methodology quantitative analyze a line which statistics can work, descriptive statistic on the sample and variable, correlation analyze linking non-verbal cues to customer outcome, group comparison across demographic segment, focus statistical pattern and practical significance, emphasize on cultural and situational factor in Malaysia political context, and for contribution and limitation, which is under the theoretical contribution, enhance understanding of nonverbal communication in multicultural Malaysian service setting, support or contrast existing theories with culturally relevant insight, while for the practical implication, which is actionable recommendation for telco provider on nonverbal communication training and strategies to improve customer satisfaction and emotional regulation. For the limitation, the cross-sectional design and self-reported data, convenient sampling limit generalizability, finding interpreted with transparency and caution. So I move to the section A, which is demographic. With 58.8 of all respondents, women make up the majority of the study participants, and 39.2% of participants are male, while 1% did not reveal their gender. 15, our participant totally is 15 people, so mostly is the female. So I move to the next one is the gender. With 58.8% of all respondents, women make up the majority of study participants, which is under the 58.8%, and 39.2 participants are male, while 1% did not reveal their gender. So from the 50 people working customer, all the majority is come from women. And then I move to the next section, which is age. Most respondents are between the age and 31 and 50, with over half falling into 41 and 50 and 51 until 40 age range. Just 3.8 of participants are between age 20 and 30, and 1.9 are under 20, and less are 51 and older. 3.8 more people decided to not reveal the age. So our most respondent at the age between 31 and 50, we believe that this age is they have the power to decide uh, to the buying power. So this is the perfect age for our research based in Malay to run the survey. Uh, we send the Google form link to everyone, but we wonder why there's no other than Malay. So, but still, we achieve our target. And then I move to the next one is section B, facial expression protection. The Frontliners greet me with a genuine smile, with 23.1% agreeing and 36.5 strongly agreeing that the way greeted with a genuine grin. The majority of respondents had a favorable, favorable opinion of the Frontliner. Just 3.8 disagree, while another 36.5 felt neutral. There were no participants who strongly disagreed. Overall, this indicates that the majority of participants thought the candidates were amiable and pleasant. So the next one is the Frontliner facial expression had me feel more comfortable. Most respondents had a positive perception of the Frontliner facial expression, with 44.2% strongly agreeing and 28.8% agreeing that it made them feel more comfortable. 25% responded naturally, while 1.9% slightly disagree. No participant strongly disagree. This shows that Frontliner facial expression play a key role in making customer at ease. So on the next slide is, I felt the Frontliner was emotionally sincere during our interaction. So based on this result, most respondents felt the Frontliner were emotionally sincere, with 30.8% agreeing and 28.8% strongly agreeing. About 26.9% gave a neutral response. A smaller group had a negative view, with 5.8% slightly disagreeing and 7.7% strongly disagreeing. Overall, customers generally perceive emotional sincerity, though some inconsistency was noted, suggesting a room for improvement. So I move to the next slide. The Frontliner maintained appropriate eye contact. The Frontliner eye contact was viewed favorably by 66.7% of respondents, with 29.4% strongly agreeing and 37.3% believing it was suitable. Just 5.9% of respondents disagree mildly, and 2% strongly disagree, and 35.5% felt neutral. So this result demonstrates that the majority of clients thought the eye contact was professional and respectful. So I move to the next slide. Some expression made me feel rushed or dismissed. Regarding whether Frontliner expression made customers feel hurried or ignored, response were not quite consistent. While 32 were neutral, over 40% agree to some context, indicating they felt somewhat rushed. However, 26% of respondents didn't agree with the assertion. This implies that while many people felt neutral or unaffected, a sizable percentage felt negatively, underscoring the need for better management of expression during. I move to the section C, which is the body language assessment from the frontliner. So we identify their body posture and so more. So the frontliner posture was open and approachable. Most respondents had a positive view of the frontliner posture, which is 28.3%. Strongly agree it was open and approachable, while 68% gave a neutral to positive rating, scale 3 and 4. Only 3.8% slightly disagree and non-strongly disagree. This indicates that the frontliner body language was generally seen as welcome and professional, helping create a comfortable service experience. The next one is their hand gesture felt respectful and helped explain information, with 49.1% agreeing and 26.4% strongly agreeing that the frontliner hand gesture were courteous and useful in communication. The majority of respondents had a favorable opinion of them. Just 3.8% disagree mildly, non-strongly disagree, and 20.8% were neutral. This shows that using hand gesture to improve clarity, establish trust, and enhance the entire service experience was successful. The next one is the frontliner faced me directly during our interaction. By confronting them immediately, the frontliner maintained a good engagement. According to 38.9% of respondents who agree or strongly agree, just 1.9% disagree mildly, non-strongly disagree, and another 20.4% gave a neutral response. This demonstrates that the majority of clients thought the front desk staff were cautious and focused, utilizing good nonverbal communication to foster a satisfying customer experience. And then the next one is the way the frontliners stood or moved made me feel more relaxed. 33.3% of those surveyed strongly agreed that they felt more relaxed because of the frontliner posture and body language. Just 3.7 disagree mildly and non-strongly disagree, while another 31.5% rate the score as neutral to favorable. This suggests that a more relaxed and comfortable client experience were facilitated by a frontline staff member open and calm body language. And then the last one from the section C, which is I was more satisfied with the service because of the frontliner body language. 72.2% of respondents agree or strongly agree that they were more satisfied as a result of the frontliner body language. Just 3.7% disagree significantly, non-strongly disagree, and 24.1 responded in a neutral manner. This demonstrates how professional posture, attitude, and gesture greatly improve the client experience. So I move to the section D, which is emotional impact. The frontliner nonverbal behavior increased my trust. According to the result, the majority of clients said that the frontline employee nonverbal cues such as eye contact and gesture contribute to the development of trust. Just a small percentage disagree marginally, but more than 66% agreed or strongly agreed. This demonstrates how crucial effective body language is to winning over customers. So I move to the next one. Their body language or facial expression reduced my initial frustration. According to 62.8% of respondents, the frontliner facial expression and body language helped them feel less frustrated. Just 3.9% disagree mildly, 33.3% responded neutrally, and no major dissent was noted. This demonstrates how soothing and upbeat nonverbal cues successfully reduce client anxiety and enhance the overall customer service experience. So I move to the section D, which is emotional impact. The frontliner nonverbal behavior increased my trust. According to the result, the majority of clients said that the frontline employee non-verbal cues such as eye contact and gesture contribute to the development of trust. Just a small percentage disagree marginally, but more than 66% agreed or strongly agreed. This demonstrates how crucial effective body language is to winning over and pleasure during service encounter. The next one is at times their body language made me feel more anxious. Customer response were mixed regarding anxiety caused by the frontliner body language. While 37.2 were neutral, 37.2 agree or strongly agree that it made them feel more anxious. Meanwhile, 35.4 disagree to some contents. This suggests that while many customers were unaffected, some felt uneasy, highlighting the need for more calming and consistent non-verbal behavior during service interaction. And then the last one from the section C, which is I was more satisfied with the service because of the frontliner body language. 72.2% of respondents agree or strongly agree that they were more satisfied as a result of the frontliner body language. Just 3.7% disagree significantly, none strongly disagree, and 24.1 responded in a neutral manner. This demonstrates how professional posture, attitude, and gesture greatly improve the client experience. So I move to the section D, which is emotional impact. The frontliner non-verbal behavior increased my trust. According to the result, the majority of clients said that the frontline employee non-verbal cues such as eye contact and gesture contribute to the development of trust. Just a small percentage disagree marginally, but more than 66% agreed or strongly agreed. This demonstrates how crucial effective body language is to winning over customers. So I move to the next one. Their body language or facial expression reduced my initial frustration. According to 62.8% of respondents, the frontliner facial expression and body language helped them feel less frustrated. Just 3.9% disagree mildly, 33.3% responded neutrally, and no major dissent was noted. This demonstrates how soothing and upbeat nonverbal cues successfully reduce client anxiety and enhance the overall customer service experience. The next one, I felt more satisfied because of their nonverbal cues. 54.9% respondents agree or strongly agree that their satisfaction was positively impacted by the frontliner nonverbal cues, including posture, facial expression, and gesture. Just 5.9% disagree slightly, while 39.2 gave a neutral response. This finding demonstrates the significance of positive nonverbal cues in enhancing customer happiness and pleasure during service encounter. The next one is at times their body language made me feel more anxious. Customer response were mixed regarding anxiety caused by the frontliner body language. While 37.3 were neutral, 37.2 agree or strongly agree that it made them feel more anxious. Meanwhile, 35.4 disagree to some contents. This suggests that while many customers were unaffected, some felt uneasy, highlighting the need for more calming and consistent non-verbal behavior during service interaction. So I move to the last section, which is section E, open-ended question. I will run to all of the participants, which is which aspect of the frontliner non-verbal communication stood out to you? So most customers notice, as you can see the result from the survey, most customers notice positive non-verbal cues such as appropriate eye contact, which is 71.8%, and professional appearance, which is 64.1%, since you smile, 61.5%, and calming hand gesture come at 41%, while open posture was also appreciated by 48.7%. However, a small number of respondents pointed out negative behavior like close body language, distracted action, or impatient movement. Overall, the results show that while most frontliners display effective and friendly body language, there is still room to reduce negative nonverbal cues for a more comfortable customer experience. So the next one, where could telco staff improve nonverbal cues to manage customer emotion better? So based on the participant respond. Uh, Consumer rank active listening indicator like nodding and eye contact, which is 54.1%, and one rating 71.8% as the most important ways to enhance nonverbal communication. Additional recommended areas including regulating facial expression and personal space are allowing reflection, 33.3%, using relaxing gesture, 38.5%, and consistently using positive body language and postural awareness, which is 35.9%. This result emphasize how crucial kind, considerate, and emotionally aware conduct is to delivering a satisfying customer service encounter. And that's all for me. I will pass to my team member to continue presenting our topic. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Iliana binti Ibrahim. So I will cover for the finding for chapter 5, whereby which is summarized. This is research finding and discussions, the research questions and objective. This chapter focus on the non-verbal communications. Especially facial impressions, body language, and posture, in fact, customer emotion experienced in the service interactions. Okay, so let's start with the first research. Okay, our first research question asks about how do facial expressions used by frontliner worker influence customer emotion reactions. The first research objective was to analyze the impact of facial inspections including the culture sensitive adaptations and such as sympathy with leader on the customer emotions stated. Okay, so the key finding from this study relevant as significations impact of facial impressions on the customer mood, and participant report feeling more comfortable and welcome when there was uh, sorry there was so sensitive smile and warm expressions. So, however, when the facial expressions appear forced or unnatural, customer feel that the service was less authentic lah. So this support the theory of emotion contagion, which is state the individual tend to mirror the emotions that they see in others. So, in the service context, friendly and positive attitude from the staff can greatly influence the overall customer experience. So, additional in the 73855 rules by Marhaban highlight the 55% of emotion content in the communications is conveyed through the non-verbal clue, such as facial impressions. Okay, and research question number one, culture sensitivity in the expressions is a important aspect of this research was the culture the sensitive related to the facial impression in Malaysia. Okay, so culture form implies respect for elder. The study found that facial genres that show respect such as a subtle smile are more effective when they interacting with the other customer. So this is aligned with the emotions laboratory, which is differently between deep acting, showing genuine emotions, and surface acting, where emotions are displayed in sincerely lah. So customer were more emotionally connected with the frontliner worker engaged in the deep acting, which is involve genuine emotionally as expressions.
So the second one, the second research question was how does employee uh, employee body language including deliberate expectancy violence shape customer perception of customer quality. Okay. The objective was to defining body language tactic that can either positively or negatively affect our customer perception of the service quality. The study found the body language play a significant role in the shaping customer perception of a service quality. Open and attentive body language, whereby such a leaning forward or maintaining the eye contact, made a customer feel heard and valued. This behavior were positively correlated with the high service certification. So this support the expectation violations theory, which suggests the positive unexpected behavior, such as offering extra attention of a kind, and can enhance customer perceptions of the service. So furthermore, when the body language was perceived as a genuine and sincere, customer feel more satisfied with the service that they receive. So, and the third questions whereby how do customer react to the use of eye contact? How someone stand and various of body movement. So the objective was to explore customer reactions to the non-verbal cue, particularly focus on the generations. Generally on differently in emotional response during service interactions. So this study revealed to the customer reactions to the non-verbal cue vary based on the day age. Older customer prefer release body language and limited eye contact as a sign of a courtesy, while younger customer whereby they're more comfortable with expensive generic and direct eye contact. This align with the interaction adaptation theory, which suggests that people adjust their communication behavior based on the actions and expected expectations of others. So additional emotion contagion play a role as a customer attended to mirror emotions tone set by the staff virtue and gesture lah. So when the frontliner worker were relaxed and more confident in their body language, customer feel more easy and mirror this positive emotion. And the conclusions on this study highlight the signification role the non-verbal communications, especially facial impressions, body language, and posture play in the shape customer emotion and experience also. So customer feel more comfortable, respect, and also emotional support when the frontliner worker display genuine facial expressions, maintain the eye contact, and also use a positive body language. This non-verbal cue help reduce customer anxiety and increase their confidence in the service also, leading to the high levels of certification. However, this study also showed that when the non-verbal cue were inconsistent with the verbal communications, such as when the force of smile was used, customer feel this certifications also. So this impressed the importance of aligned verbal verbal on and non-verbal message to the provide a seamless and positive customer experience. Based on the finding, it's recommended that telecommunications or other frontliner company and service industry invest in this training program focus on the non-verbal communication. This program should be impressed emphasize the importance of a culturally sensitivity, non-verbal clues such as facial impressions, body language, and also posture to enhance customer certification and also the service. So training should also address the line between the verbal and then non-verbal communication to ensure consistency and authenticity in the survey interactions. So such as training program will not only improve customer certifications but also help reduce emotional among the employee by equipping them with the tools to manage their emotion effectively lah. So this approach will enhance the overall service experience and contribute the greater customer loyalty. So from this, inshallah, customer will be more happy and they will more give a trust from our service also. They will build a trust to customer to our company because we are the service that we give make a customer happy. So that's all for me. So next will be my team member. They will cover the next topic lah. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, next we go to the implication of the study. This research offer valuable insight into how nonverbal communication shape customer experiences in Malaysian service context. Firstly, it support emotional contagion theory by showing that emotion naturally flow between frontline employees and customers. But importantly, these emotional exchanges are influenced by cultural specific. We also extend interaction adaptation theory by demonstrating that frontline workers can thoughtfully adjust their facial experiences, eye contact, and body language to align with the cultural background and age group of their customers. This intentional adaptation leads to more positive emotional interaction and smoother service experiences. The study lays the foundation for culturally adaptive emotional contagion models that reflect Malaysia collective value, respect for social hierarchies, and generational differences. For telecommunication provider, this means moving beyond surface level gesture to cultivate authentic smile, culturally appropriate eye contact, and respectful body language tailored to diverse customers groups. Such an approach not only help customers feel genuinely valued, but also support employee in managing the emotional demands on their roles, reducing burnout, and improving well-being. This benefit translate into better service quality and stronger business outcome. While the study roots into telecommunication, these implications extend to other Malaysian service sectors like banking, healthcare, retail, and hospitality. Organizations that prioritize culturally sensitive nonverbal communication can differentiate themselves by creating emotionally rich customer experiences that build loyalty and inspire positive word of mouth.
Looking ahead, as digital and remote service channels become more prevalent, understanding how nonverbal cues translate in virtual environments will be critical. Future research exploring the interplay between verbal and non-verbal communication in this setting will help organizations maintain meaningful emotional connection across all platforms. Next, we move to the limitation of the study. While this study provide valuable insight into how nonverbal communication influence customer experiences in Malaysian telco working center, it's important to consider several limitations that shape how we interpret these findings and guide future research. First, the sample consists entirely of Malay participants, which limits our ability to understand how nonverbal communication might differ across Malaysia diverse ethnic group, such as Chinese and Indian communities. Cultural background play a key role in how emotions are expressed and shared, so future studies should be include a broader range of ethnicities to capture these diversities. The sample size of 50 people was sufficient for exploring general trends, but too small to confidently analyze a difference by age or gender. For example, only a few participants were under 30, so any conclusion about generational differences remain tentative. Larger and more balanced sample will strengthen the future findings. Methodologically, this study used a cross-sectional survey, which means we can identify relationship but cannot establish cause and effect. To truly understand what drive these emotional responses, future research should consider experimental or longitudinal designs. We also rely on self-reported data, which may be influenced by social desirability, especially in culture like the Malay community, where politeness is highly valued. This could lead to more positive satisfaction ratings than might be the case in reality. Incorporating behavioral observation or psychological measure would provide a fuller, more accurate picture. Although the focus was on face-to-face interaction, participants were recruit online through platforms like WhatsApp and Facebook. This recruitment method may have favored individuals comfortable with technology, potentially excluding less tech-savvy customers and limiting the generalizability of the result. The study focused on walk-in service center means the finding may not fully apply to digital service channels such as video call or chat support where the nonverbal cues differ or are less visible. Finally, we did not control for situational factors like the time of the day, customer moods, or urgency of the service, all of which can influence behavior and emotionally responses. So additionally, while we examine facial expression, eye contact, and body posture, other important nonverbal signals such as tone of voice, use of personal space, touch, and other micro expression were not explored by could significantly impact customer emotions. Okay, next for the last slides, the recommendation for future research. First, we need to expand our understanding across Malaysia diverse population. Our study was limited to only Malay participants, so future research must include all major ethnic like Chinese and Indian Malaysian using strategies like stratified sampling to ensure comprehensive representation. This will help us understand how cultural background influence nonverbal communication and emotional exchanges, and whether our finding apply universally across Malaysia multicultural landscape. It is also vital to include a balanced representation of all age groups to confirm how nonverbal communication preferences vary by generation. Second, given the growing shift towards digital services, it's crucial to investigate nonverbal communication in digital and remote service contexts. We need to explore how nonverbal cues like facial experiences and eye contact are conveyed conveyed and interpret in virtual environments such as video call, chatbot, and AI-driven customer supports. This will help us understand how these cues adapt or transform when interactions are not face-to-face. Third, we recommend enhancing our research methodologies to get a more objective and complete picture. Future studies should combine a traditional survey with behavioral observation and even psychological measures like eye tracking or galvanic skin response. This triangulation of data will reduce reliance on self-report. Additionally, using longitudinal or experimental design will help us establish cause and effect relationship, allowing us to see how nonverbal communication truly impact customer emotion over time. And fourth, we need to broaden our analysis of nonverbal communication itself. Our studies focus on facial experiences, eye contact, and body posture, but nonverbal communication is much richer. Future research also explore the impact of vocal tone, personal space, touch, and even subtle micro expression. It's also important to examine how verbal messages and non-verbal cues work together or sometimes contradict each other, and how this influence customer satisfaction. Finally, we encourage research into the real world application and industry impact of this finding. This means developing and testing culturally tailored training program for frontline employees. We need to measure if this program genuinely improve customer satisfaction and reduce employer burnout. It also important to validate our finding across different Malaysia service industries like banking, healthcare, retail, and hospitality to see if this nonverbal communication um, are universal or industry specific, and ultimately quantifying the economic benefits like improve customer retention and reduce complaint will provide a strong business case for investing in nonverbal communication training. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.